Good morning, children. A warm welcome to all. So today I am going to discuss with you a very important topic in biometrics, that is probability. In our daily life, we people usually face a sort of probability. We live in a world in which we are unable to forecast the future, isn't it? Our need to cope with uncertainty lead us to study the and use of probability theory. Okay, so it is very important in daily life and also very important in our study of science. Okay, so let us discuss what is probability. You can see these two things that we are practicing as a part of game. So tossing a coin, head or tail, that is the probability. Okay, so whatever it may be, it is actually a very important part that refers to the chance of happening or not happening of an event. Then in detail we can go. So it's a part of everyday life, I have told you, and it is refers to the chance of happening or not happening of an event. You know, in the Mendelian genetics, in the F2 generation that segregate in a particular ratio is studied in your previous classes. The number of individuals in each ratio result from the chance of segregation of genes. You know what is segregation? The law of segregation proposed by Gregor Mendel. So it's a chance of segregation of gene during gamete formation. Okay, that is a chance combination to form zygote. Since these are the chance events, accurate prediction about the result cannot be made. We cannot make accurate prediction about the result. These are all chance. So we can say probability is a chance of happening or not happening of an event. So when you toss a coin, there is a chance of getting head or chance of getting tail. Okay, so that is probability. The word chance indicates the element of uncertainty. It indicates the element of uncertainty about some of the common statements. Clear? For example, we can say probability that this year the wheat production will be very high. Okay, and probability that a mother will give a birth to boy in the first pregnancy. There is a chance of giving birth to a girl. So that is the probability. So in these examples, you can see the event is not certain to take place. This uncertainty is numerically expressed as probability. Okay, I think you got that concept. So the uncertainty is numerically expressed as probability. Clear? Okay. So it measures the particular event happening by chance. Okay. So it is the chance happening or not. It measures the particular event happening by chance. Clear? Okay. Then, so now let us look at the history of this probability. See, the theory of probability has its origin from the game of chance related to gambling. You know what is gambling? So during our cards play, we will practice gambling. So this has a history, origin from game of chance related to gambling. So this happened in the first half of the 16th century and mainly by mathematicians. An Italian mathematician, namely Jerome Cardan. Italian mathematician Jerome Cardan was the first man to write a book titled Book on Games of Chance. That is in 1663. Book on Games of Chance. Okay. The classical treatment of probability dates back to 17th century. This is the first thing in 16th century, but classical treatment go back to 17th century by Blaise Pascal and Pierre de Fermat. Clear? So that's a classical theory. Much of the theory developed out of attempt to solve problem related to games of chance. But Bernoulli in 1705 extended its application beyond the games, means to the science and other field. Okay. Then R.A. Fisher and von Mises introduced the empirical approach to probability. R.A. Fisher and von Mises, empirical approach. And The modern theory of probability was developed by Russian mathematicians, namely Chebyshev, A. Markov and A. L. Kolmogorov. Okay, that is the modern theory of probability. They actually developed the modern theory. So, this is a history regarding the probability theories. So, it starts from the game of gambling. Okay, then it reached a level like this, an empirical approach given, then a modern theory also. So, a knowledge of this probability theory make it possible to interpret statistical result. Okay, so we can express this in numerically. That is very important thing regarding the probability. Okay, now let us study the concepts of probability. So, what are the different ways by which probability is explained? So, concept of probability is basic to many principles of classical genetics. You may be thorough regarding these, that is segregation, law of independent assortments, etc. These are all based on the probability, basic principles of genetics. Okay, the principles of population genetics is based on the consideration of law of probability. Clear? So, based on this, we can define that probability as likelihood of occurrence of an event. It is the likelihood of occurrence of an event. Clear? Probability is the likelihood of occurrence of an event. In our daily life, each one of us are facing with a decision about likelihood that an event will occur or not. For example, today there will be rain or not. Before the commencement of our examination, each student is anxious about the likelihood. What is the likelihood of his doing well in examination? He can write it good or not. So that is a likelihood. So likelihood of obtaining good mark in an examination. So these are all probabilities. Clear? And so many examples from our daily life also. When a coin tossed, head or tail, a newborn baby, male or female. Example, when corona affected dead or alive. These are all the various probabilities that in our daily life, likelihood of an event. Okay. Now, in the sex determination also, in the bisexual organism also, that's a chance event. Okay. So, how it is happening, XX in the female, XY in the male. When X or Y, two gametes will be there in the male, in female only one that carry X. So what happens when X of male fuses with the X of female, what will be the result? Female. Then X of male and Y of female, result is XY. These are actually what? But that is also a chance, sex determination. Studied this in the Drosophila also. So the probability is the chance or likelihood that an event will occur. Okay. Then the value of probability is usually between 0 to 1. It ranges between 0 to 1. How can you say that? If an event is certain to happen, its probability is 1. If it is not happening, what you can say? Probability of happening is 0. So, likelihood, if happening, probability P equal to 0. Not happening, probability P equal to if happening, probability P equal to 1, not happening, probability P equal to 0. That is ranges between 0 to 1. In agriculture and biological sciences, there are very rare, these are very rare like in social sciences. Usually it is happening in the social sciences. Okay. Now let us derive the mathematically the probability, how it is. This I already discussed, the happening P1, not happening P0. Okay. So, how can you describe it? So, if an event happening A ways, let us think, event happening A ways, failed to happening B ways. How will you write probability of happening P? How can you write probability of happening P? That is P equal to A divided by A plus B. Okay? That is, if an event happen in A ways and failed to happen in B ways, probability of its happening P is written as P equal to A by A plus B. Okay. So, what is A? Number of events occurring divided by number of trials. Means how many times we practiced it. Okay, for example, when you are tossing a coin, the probability happening is head, that is A. Then what is A plus B? How many times you did that experiment of tossing coin, that is A plus B. Clear? So number of events occurring divided by total number of trials. Okay. Similarly, probability of failure of an event to happen, how you can write, that is Q. Probability of failure is represented as Q. So Q equal to B divided by A plus B. We already given failed to happen is B. Okay. So failure of the event is Q equal to B by A plus B. Now how you can derive the formula? Think. See. P equal to A by A plus B, that is probability of happening, we know. Q equal to B by A plus B, that is probability of failure. You combine this. P plus Q equal to A divided by A plus B plus B divided by A plus B. Then you can simplify equation. How it will get? A divided by A plus B plus B divided by A plus B. How you will write? A plus B divided by A plus B. Okay, that is equal to 1. Clear? So P plus Q equal to 1. Then from this you can derive P equal to 1 minus Q, Q equal to 1 minus P. So we derived a formula. This is that mathematical representation of our probability. So let us do an example, then you will get thorough. Okay. See, if a surgeon transplants a kidney in 400 cases, how many times? 400. So the trial is actually, total number is actually 400. I already told you A plus B. That A plus B, number of trial is 400. 400 times he tried to transplant. But he succeeds in 160 cases. How many cases he succeeds? 160 cases. The succeed is the probability of happening. What is that? A. Clear? So probability of survival after operation. How can you write this? See, P equal to number of survival after the operation, that is happening, divided by total number of patients operated, that is number of trials. So that is equal to, sorry, there is a mistake, it's not 10, it is 160. Clear? Here it is wrong. I will correct it. See, here it is wrong, written wrong. What is actually it is? It is 6. Okay. So what will be the answer? 160 divided by 400, that is 2 by 5. Wait. Mm, 160 divided by 400, that is 2 by 5. So probability of not occurring is probability of not occurring, not surviving, Q is another equation, that is what is balance. 160 is succeeding, not happening is 240. 240 plus 160 equal to 400. So this is 160 divided by 400, 2 by 5, that is happening P. Okay. 160 times he succeed. Okay. Divided by total trial, that is 2 by 5. You already know that A by A plus B. Clear? Now, what is second case? Probability of not happening. Not happening is number of patients died divided by total number of patients operated. So how it will write? Number of patients died means from 400 after succeeding 160, what is the remaining? 240. So 240 divided by 400, that is number of patients died. 240 divided by 400, that is equal to 3 by 5. Clear? So this is the way we will predict it, or we will calculate the probability. Okay, I think you got the clear idea regarding mathematical derivation of probability. Clear? Now we are going to discuss with some of the terms coming under probability. What are they? Random experiment or trial. What do you mean by random experiment or trial? When an experiment that is repeated under same condition, but results cannot be predicted in any repetition. Means how many times we are repeating that experiment repetition under same condition is known as what? Random experiment or trial. For example, you can toss a coin many times. So how many times you are tossing? That is each time. That is known as a trial. So how many times? That is the number of trial. Clear? Random experiment. So in all cases in the probability studying, there is trial or random experiment. So number of times a mother delivering, mother's delivery, that time, that is trial. Clear? So that is random experiment or trial. Now second important term, what is the second important term? Event. So any possible outcome of an experiment. So when you are doing a trial or an experiment, what is the result? That is what event. Any possible outcome of a random experiment. So when you toss a coin, if you are getting head, that is the event. Then mutually exclusive event. What do you mean by mutually exclusive event? Events that are so related among themselves. Events that are so related among themselves. They are mutually exclusive. Which means occurrence of an event excludes the possibility of occurrence of other event. Means both events cannot happen simultaneously. Both events cannot happen simultaneously. For example, you think about a coin. On one side it is head, the other side it is tail. So they are mutually exclusive. So when you toss a coin, you will get only one at a time. Clear? So that is occurrence of one. Occurrence of head. What happens? Occurrence of head excludes the possibility of occurrence of tail. അതായത് നമ്മൾ ടോസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഹെഡും ടെയിലും ഒരിക്കലും ഒരുമിച്ച് വരില്ല. അത്രയും റിലേഷനാണ് അല്ലേ. ഹെഡിൻ്റെ വീഴ്ച ടെയിലിൻ്റെ വീഴ്ചയെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? തടയും. So that excludes the possibility of occurrence of other. That is, two events are mutually exclusive. So there are so many examples from our life. So a newborn baby can either a boy or a girl. So in the rare cases that are twins, that is entirely different, exceptional cases. So occurrence of head excludes the occurrence of tail. Clear? Thus probability of getting a head is half time chance and probability of getting a tail is half the chance. So this is the mutually exclusive event. Now one more is there, that is independent event. So occurrence of any event does not affect the chance of occurrence of any other event. What is that? A set of events, we can say it is independent, means the chance of occurrence of an event does not affect the chance of occurrence of other. Example, when you are tossing coin, two coins at a time tossed together or separately, what will be the condition? Occurrence of head or tail in the first coin never affect the occurrence of head or tail in the second coin. Clear? They are independent events. Two coins you are tossing simultaneously or separately. What happens is occurrence of head in the first coin never affect occurrence of tail or head in the second coin. This is what independent events. Clear? Okay. So these are the terms coming under probability. Now, so we finished the first half, that is introductory part of probability. What is probability? What is the history? Then what are the concepts of probability? What are the terms coming under probability? How can you derive mathematically probability? Clear? Now, one more very important part coming under probability is theorems of probability. So what are the various theorems coming under probability? Okay. So it is very important to have a clear concept of probability, as it is a basis for all tests of significance. So there are basically two rules in probability. One is addition rule and another one is multiplication rule. This you may studied in your plus 2 classes, addition rule and multiplication rule. So what is addition rule? Just to study, no more explanation for your examination. What is addition rule? Addition rule are again divided into two categories. First one is addition rule for mutually exclusive event. Now you know what is mutually exclusive event. So two events A and B are said to be mutually exclusive when occurrence of one event precludes the occurrence of other event, that you know. So probability of occurrence of either A or B is a sum of their individual probability. So probability of occurrence of either A or B is the sum of their individual probability. Okay. So how can you write it mathematically? P of A or B, that are two events, head or tail, equal to P of A plus P of B. This is what addition rule. So you can extend this additional rule when there are three events, P of A or B or C, P of A plus P of B plus P of C. Okay. So that is addition rule for mutually exclusive events. Now, addition rule when events are not mutually exclusive. I already told you, when you toss two coins in different time or separately, simultaneously or whatever it may, that is not mutually exclusive. So if two events not mutually exclusive means possible for both events to occur. Okay. So the addition rule must be modified. Both events should occur. So how you can write it? That is P of A or B equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A and B. Clear? So this is the mathematical derivation of addition rule when events are not mutually exclusive. So you have to study what are the additional rules for two categories and how it will be represented in mathematical. That's all for your examination. Okay. Now second one is multiplication rule. So multiplication rule for independent events, how you will write it? The rule states that when two events A and B are independent, probability of joint occurrence is given by product of the separate probability. Okay. So the probability of joint occurrence is given by product of the separate probability. Here you have to remember this rule is for independent events. Rule is for independent events. So probability of occurrence A and B is the product of the separate probability. That is P of A and B equal to P of A into P of B. If there are three events, what will be the result? P of A, B, C equal to P of A into P of B into P of C. Okay. So that is the multiplication rule. Clear? So multiplication rule for independent events. Now one more is there. Multiplication rule for dependent events, that is usually not giving but not that much importance, but I will say a few words. It states that when two event A and B are dependent, probability of occurrence of an event is dependent on other. P of A and B equal to P of A into P of A by B. That is the importance. So P of A and B equal to P of A into P of A by B. Clear? That is true for independent events. So that's all for the rules, addition rule and multiplication rule. Now let us discuss what are the applications of probability. So I already told you probability is very important in genetics. So because it involves chance or random happenings, closely related to genetics as it involves statistical analysis of the ratio of among the offsprings of parents of non-phenotypes. You know how to study phenotypic ratio, genotypic ratio, etc. So this is very well applied in genetics. We can make probability of events even more explicit using probability tree of all three generations. That is very important, significant. Second one is to find out results of more than one generation. This is very important. And also in solving so many genetics problems, we can apply this. Then for predicting ratio of boys and girls born in the family, that's also another important application. Probability of for a boy at any birth is half and girl half, since human male produce an equal number of X and Y sperms, that you know. Okay. So probability what the first two children born in the family will be males, will be females. So we can predict by using this rule. Okay. Now it is also applied in solving problems of heredity. So many problems, dihybrid, trihybrid, or that polyhybrid crosses, etc. We can predict this. And recessive genes cases also, rare diseases, so many such cases we can predict this. And also for animal breeders to analyze the pedigrees, this is also applicable to analyze the pedigree analysis. Okay. So these are the very important applications of probability in our science, especially in the biological sciences. Okay. So I hope you all got a basic idea regarding probability. So what is probability? What are the concepts? History, mathematical derivation, and two important rules: addition rule and multiplication rule, and its application. Clear? Okay. So today I am finishing here. So in the next class we can discuss that chapter, continuation of probability distribution. Okay. So hope you understood well. So have a nice day. Thank you.